culture plays a very important and significant role in everybody's life, and we should never forget it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I, Shreeya Katyal, welcome you all to today's talk. I'm standing at Marva Studios, and I'm in conversation with the professor at Center for Comparative Religions and Civilisations, Professor Madhu Khana. So let's talk to her and get inspired. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to the studios.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be here.
It's our pleasure to host you. Okay, so if we talk about culture, what exactly is the definition of culture?
You cannot define culture, but all I'll say is culture is like a fragrance because it touches every aspect of life. And if you ask me, it is everything that we see, we hear, we breathe, all that we know from countless generations. Culture is to do with language, it's to do with literature, it is to do with the arts, it's to do with the creativity of a whole civilization, it is to do with ancient history, it is to do with races, it is to do with cultural pluralism and diversity. So it's a sum total of knowledge that we have accumulated over generations in almost all the disciplines of the world.
Beautiful. So culture has a wide scope, and that's why I asked the definition from the professor herself. Okay, so our motto at Marva Studios is to spread love, peace and unity through art and culture, and it's the world of films and beautiful arts. Okay, so now coming on to my second question, that is, let's relate culture and films. So what do you believe that how important is this film prospect in culture, in promoting our culture, and how do, like, it's supplementing that field?
You see, today we are surrounded by terror. We are surrounded by so many negative problems, and we have to create a medium to change the mindset of humanity as a whole. For instance, there is a lot of conflict, there is a lot of terrorism, social terrorism, there are rapes happening almost every second day. At the same time, we have raped Mother Earth. See what we've done to the environment. Now, what is that medium which can create an awareness for the young people and for the entire generation of people living in India as well as in different parts of the world? It is really the film.
True.
Okay. Now you take, for instance, culture in India is a very great resource because it has also, in India, we have nurtured values of ahimsa, values of living peacefully with the other. The notion of the other is totally Western concept. In India, when you look at Indian history, for instance, from the dawn of civilization, India is an amalgamation of so many different cultural streams. You have the tribals who live. India lives in three different times. You have the tribals who are known as Adivasis. You have the village culture. You have the Dravidian culture. You have the Vedic culture. And then you have the culture of the people who came from different lands. And India has created the most, I would say, soft and gentle form of Sufi Islam, which you don't find in many other cultures. At the same time, we have the greatest traditions of Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. Now, Hinduism is not a religion of a book. It is not a religion of one prophet. It is really a lifestyle. And it allows all forms of diversity and self-expressions to flourish. So basically films as a medium can take advantage of this rich resource and use it to change the mindset, to create awareness of how to save the environment, how to increase brotherhood, how to increase values of compassion, and how to bring people closer to one another.
That's true, because India is a land where unity in diversity prevails, and separation is an illusion, oneness is the ultimate reality. Okay, now, since we know that we have a very rich culture and we have our roots, deep roots, which everybody, the entire world tends to follow. In this regard, what would you like to convey to the youth of today, that how should they keep their culture intact, respect it, and carry it forward for the coming up generations?
Well, the first thing is that the youth should be acquainted with what we have. For instance, we have the greatest epics. We have Ramayana and Mahabharata. every conceivable character you can find in Indian films is portrayed in these two epics. So first, as an institution, you have to introduce the youngsters to this great, great resource. They must visit Banaras and see how we worship rivers, so that they get inspired. But the problem is that if you do not introduce to the young people what our culture is, they will never know how to use it. Exactly. For instance, I've always said that the Ramayana is not simply a mythology. It is also one of the biggest resource for natural history. Because when you trace the trail of Ram from Dandakaran down to Sri Lanka, there's beautiful descriptions of the forests, of the rivers, of the land. And all that is a great resource for film. Different kinds of geoscapes, different kinds of people, different conversations that occur, with the lowest of the low, as well as profound saints and sages. So I think all the young people should get acquainted, and older generation people like myself and others who are handling institutions and working in institutions, I feel that even the government should have a special courses on culture and filmmaking. And I think Ganga will be saved if the youngsters knew enough about Ganga and its relevance in our civilization.
Very well said, ma'am. Thanks for inspiring us. And guys, always remember that the world is coming to India. So Indians should not and ought not forget their own culture and traditions. Keep it well, respect it, and carry it forward. That's all for today in today's talk. I, Shreeya Katyal, sign off for the day, but I'll be back with another amazing celebrity guest for you. Till then, you keep watching MSTV, Har Pal Aapke Saath, and don't forget to stay connected.